Hello, Acadiana. Welcome to the Veterans Corner. I'm Greg Gagne, your veteran representative, and thank you for inviting us back into your home today. I'm with the Louisiana Workforce Commission and Acadiana Works, and I'm one of 3 veteran representatives in this area, Mr. Tim Jack out of New Iberia, Mr. Mark Guillory out of Lafayette, and myself here in La Opelousas. Now together we work as a team, and what we do is that we cover 8 parishes from St. Mary up to Evangeline. Now our mission is to bring the employers and the veterans of Acadiana together. And we do this by assisting the employer with various resources, such as many job fairs, seminars, workshops, on-the-job training, and so forth. And going through that process, we hope a veteran will be hired. So if you are a veteran, and especially if you are a disabled veteran, give me a call at 948-1377. And at the same time, spread the word around about the Veterans Corner. Now, if you're an employer who wish to participate on the Veterans Corner, just give me a call at 948-1377, and we'll make that happen. Now, we have a request, is that to the families of Acadiana, we would like for you to submit a photo of your veteran loved one so we can honor and recognize them for their valiant service in defending America. And to do this, send the photo to ggagne@lwc.la.gov. Thank you. Now, on to our guest today. This is Miss Missy Grimmett. She is a business service representative. You know, she's also a colleague. Anyway, yeah, you're right. And so she's here today to share some information with us. Okay, Missy, how you doing today?
Hi, Greg.
Although we just met a couple minutes ago.
We did. We did.
Yeah. Well, tell us what it is that you do for the community and for the businesses here in the Acadiana region.
Certainly. First, I just want to reach out to all of our veterans out there and say thank you so very much for your services. I do appreciate you. My father was a veteran, so I'm very, very proud of our veteran community and what they've done for us and continue to do for us out in the workforce. And we very much appreciate your service, your ongoing service. What I do out in the community is I reach out to businesses and discuss with them their needs, opportunities for growth, opportunities for the Louisiana Workforce Commission to help them thrive and succeed. And I do this in basically a 7-parish area, although right now I am concentrated more in the St. Landry Parish area and the Evangeline Parish area. But I am working with the businesses throughout the 7-parish area of Workforce Investment Board number 40, which encompasses Acadia Parish, Evangeline Parish, Iberia, St. Landry, St. Martin, St. Mary, and Vermilion parishes. But we have a great business community, and I look forward to meeting all of the businesses out there who have needs and who might want to contact me. They can reach me here at the WIB office, area code 337-942-5678. That's 337-942-5678. I'd be happy to meet with you one-on-one and basically let you know of the opportunities and things available at the Louisiana Workforce Commission.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Just what would be your daily routine? Starting off in the morning, going out to businesses, right?
Right. A lot of the business services that I do are one-on-one, or I do meet with and speak to large groups about any of the information that the Louisiana Workforce Commission has available. I will say this, oftentimes it's more convenient for a business to access some of our information through our website, which is www.laworks.net. That's www.laworks.net. And all of the information is posted. It's a wealth of information for employers out there and job seekers alike, of course. But my focus is with the business community, and so therefore I'm trying to let them know of the many services available through our website and through the contacts and the information that we have right here at home.
Okay. So how can the Workforce Commission help employers with certain needs? What are the needs that you may help them with? Such as many job fairs?
Right.
You know.
Many of the employers basically want to know, you know, how can we help them save time? How can we help them with their workforce? And at the Workforce Commission and through Acadiana Works and the Workforce Investment Board 40 here in the 7 Parish area, we're geared to do just that. One of our primary things right now is to try to get positions filled, in which case we work with employers to identify their needs, to make sure that qualified candidates are being selected and submitted to them for them to review and potentially hire. And that's our goal at the Louisiana Workforce Commission. We put people to work. And so we want to help those employers find the qualified candidates that they need to help their business. And so we want to put people to work.
Okay. Well, I do know about the putting them to work part.
That's right.
And when it comes to the veterans, when veterans comes to me, we sit down with them, we do assessments and so forth.
That's right.
And we try to help them present a good first impression with an employer. And in fact, their resume is their first handshake with an employer, okay? The handshake is very important because that's what they see. There's an image. So we try to get them to understand and try to help them so when an employer is looking at resumes, their first impression will stand out. Try to get them to understand, because of the new technology today, businesses prefer email, website, fax. Very few say phone call, very few say apply in person. But anyway, try to get them to understand that everything has changed. So for us, we try to make sure that the veteran really is job ready before we refer them to an employer. And that way the employer can rest assured that someone sitting before him is really qualified and job ready. And I think
that perfectly complements my mission. One of the things we especially like for employers to know about is that they can post their job vacancies on our website. And they can do that and actually set up recruiters so that qualified applicants can even get dropped into their email box or their text message. They can set that up for themselves so that they actually get those qualified candidates that you're working with.
Yeah, and if of course the employer doesn't need assistance, we're more than happy to sit down with them and give them a one-on-one training. Okay?
Absolutely, and they can search through the resumes of those individuals that apply for their vacancies.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, what about, how do you go about saving employers time and money?
Well,
that's a biggie.
it is. There are several resources that are available to employers out there to help them save some of their dollars and make them work for them. And that's through some of the tax credits and some of the incentives. On-the-job training is a great opportunity for employers to actually hire a veteran or someone who might need some additional training, and the employer is willing to take on that responsibility and train that person coming into their company. And what it is, it's an opportunity also for that employer to make certain that that employee is trained, their way and with their company needs in mind. Yeah. So the on-the-job training program is a wonderful opportunity for both the job seeker and the employer. It's a win-win situation. Yeah. And there's also the work opportunity tax credits, which is a tax credit up to $2,400 that they can receive by hiring someone in one of the various categories, of which a veteran could be one of those categories. Yeah, and a veteran, in certain cases, if they hire a certain type of veteran, they can have a tax credit anywhere roughly now, between $7,000 and $9,000. So there is a great advantage of hiring a veteran, not to say you can't hire anybody else. No, but it is something that employers need to look at, because we are there to really assist them as much as we can. And we want to put the veterans to work. We want to put non-veterans to work, of course, as well. But the employer, we really want to extend the helping hand out to them, because sometimes they're not quite sure, do not have the right information. So we come there and we give them the information so they can go ahead and proceed and to make a profit. Okay. And there's also some training opportunities for businesses. For example, if it's a large business that has more than 50 employees, they can use the incumbent worker training program, providing they qualify and submit an application, which is also available online at laworks.net. And there's
Okay.
also for a small business program for employers that have less than 50,
Yeah.
50 people on staff. So those are two great benefits
With
to
the-
train their existing staff.
Yeah, with the incumbents, really, it's like stepping up to a higher
Absolutely.
level, higher position, and that's what we're talking about mainly.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, employers, that's one bit of information that might help them, save them some additional money, because we can
Right.
help them to train for that employee to make sure he's the right fit for that position,
Mhm.
you know. But right now, though, I want to ask another question. What kind of opportunities that are available for businesses? I guess we already talked about training more or less. You know.
We did.
They got so much information we can give employees. We get kind of lost ourselves, you know. But all I do know is that Missy does go out and she does hit employers. Not hit, but let's just say she visited employers. And she does very well at it. I mean, she's very good at it. She really tried to work with the employers as much as she can. And she was also, well, I'm not go that way.
We
position.
work
Yeah.
with many employers to help develop them in our communities, and we're very pleased with companies that are able to sustain and to grow in our communities, and we're so excited to be able to reach out to our community and try to help them. I do encourage businesses to please contact me. I'd be happy to sit down with you and discuss the many ways we might be able to help, but basically listen to you, and if there are any needs that your company may have that may be beyond even the Louisiana Workforce Commission, I will search those resources for you and make them available to you.
For our next guest, we have three from the CASA agency of Opelousas, and they are Mrs. Madeline Rosette, and she is the executive director. We also have Mr. Christopher Poulard. He is the advocate supervisor. And we have Mrs. Betty Lestraps, and she is the Vista Community Liaison. And together they will share with us the various services that they are offering the community. So let's start with Mrs. Madeline. Ms. Madeline, how you doing? And tell us what this is all about.
We are CASA of St. Landry. We provide services to foster care youths in our community. What we do is we recruit volunteers to work with the foster care youths who are in foster care, which means they're not at home. And we provide these services to 3 courts: the 27th Judicial District Court, the Opelousas City Court, and the Eunice City Court. So our main goal is to recruit volunteers to work with these kids who are in need.
Okay. When recruiting volunteers and helping these kids, some of these kids are also the kids of parents who have been incarcerated who are also veterans as well, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
We may have some veterans,
Yes.
parents as well. Could be.
Yeah. So what I'd like to let everybody know, besides the everyday civilian, that sometimes we do have veterans that are incarcerated, and we do have children that are there, so try to help them as well. As far as for the veterans, I just want to let them know what services you bring to a kid in, and that you can maybe help them out as well. Okay?
Well, if a veteran is in that situation, of course, they probably would have a DCFS caseworker. So DCFS stands for Department of Children and Family Services. They may have a caseworker, and what usually happens is we'll get the referral from either DCFS or the court system, but majority of our referrals come from the court system. And what we do is advocate for their children. While they'll be working with their caseworker, we'll be monitoring the child to make sure that their children are safe in foster care and giving the judge a report on how the children are doing.
Okay, okay. And what about you, Christopher? Do you do the same thing, or what others?
Well, actually, I'm the advocate supervisor, like you said before, and my job is to supervise the volunteers.
Supervise the volunteers?
And like you were saying with the veterans, that could be a group that we need to target as far as being volunteers.
Okay, okay.
We're looking for people such as veterans who have a lot of knowledge, who want to help kids, and want to be there, want to be an advocate for kids and help the cause. And
Okay, so you can really reaching out to veterans who want to volunteer to be involved with,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
with the children. Okay, well that's good. And what about you, Miss Betty?
I am an AmeriCorps Vista community liaison, and what that means is what I do, what my function with CASA is, I go out and actually we have flyers that we've had designed for that gives information about CASA, which means which stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate, and my function is to go out to let the community know what we do. We have the brochures. When I go, I usually bring the brochures with me and put them in different places and get to talk to different people, let them know what we do and what the volunteers function actually is. If you want to commit to CASA for a year to be the voice of a child who is in foster care.
Oh, okay, okay. When you're talking about volunteers, just what do they do with these children? What type of outreach do they do? Do they not only mentor them, but take them out on trips, you know?
Well, we don't transport the kids, but we are like the facilitators. With that, we give the kids a voice, the opportunity to voice their opinions or their concerns, and we relate that to the judge who's on their case at that time. So what we do, we go into the homes, we go into the community, and we also go into the schools to check on the kids and report back to the judge what is going on in that child's life at the time while they're in foster care.
Okay, so that veteran, since I'm a veteran, that's what I'm talking about, veterans, but so that veteran would have some knowledge and support that they would know that their children are really being taken care of.
Correct.
You know?
That veteran who may be in that situation will have a caseworker, but then if CASA is referred on the case, they'll also have a CASA to the child. But at the same time, we would report to the parent who's in that situation. If they contact us, yes, your child is doing fine, or whatever services we're trying to seek, we won't keep them out of the loop of things.
Okay.
But we do advocate strictly and mostly for the kids. So if it means reunification, being reunified with that family, then we'll encourage that veteran to work their case plan so that they can get their child back.
Okay, okay, that's good to know. And you, Christopher, when you say you're more or less for the volunteers, seeking volunteers, right?
Yes, sir.
Just what type of outreach do you do in order to try to get volunteers to become involved with this program?
Well, something like this work helps a lot, getting the word out, because a lot of people don't know who CASA is or where CASA is located. So that's one of the things, you know, that I would do as an advocate. And also I wanted to say, as a supervisor, if someone becomes a volunteer, I'm with them every step of the way. So some people might say, well, I don't know what to do, I don't know what it's all about. So I'm with them every step of the way. We have training classes that we start. Matter of fact, we start some training classes again in May 1st to be exact. And you know, so we train. We go 10 classes. So you by the time you leave classes, you know exactly what to do as a CASA volunteer.
Okay, so at that point, you more or less introduce them to the children after those classes?
After the classes, they have to be appointed by a judge, sworn in by a judge, I'm sorry. And then we sit down and they get to select which type of child they want. When I say what type of child, it could be, you know, it could be a female, it could be a family of 3.
Okay, so more or less the judge has to okay this?
Yes, they have to be sworn in and assigned to the case by a judge.
Okay, now these volunteers, would they have to do like a background check?
Definitely.
And I'm not sure what else for you guys, but more or less the background check would be very important, as well as credit checks, I'm assuming.
We don't do credit checks. We do background checks, and of course they have to meet with Chris or myself, so we have like an interview. You have an application process, so it's an extensive process. We don't just want to put kids with people who are interested. We need to make sure that they are cleared to provide services for that child, because it is confidential with, you know, the information that's going to be exposed throughout the process of being a volunteer.
And of course, one thing else you have to do a check on is for drug testing, I'm assuming.
We do not drug test.
You do not drug test?
We do not drug test.
All right.
We definitely
That's
want
good.
a
That's
national clearance. We do FBI checks, state and local checks as well to ensure that that volunteer is up to par.
Okay. So you guys really do cover the whole spectrum as far as getting volunteers involved. I just want to let them know exactly what they're getting involved in. It sounds nice over the television, but once they get into a hands-on, some people may or may not like it. I mean, but as far as dealing with the children, but I wasn't aware that the judge would have to appoint them. At the same time, they have the opportunity to select the child.
Basically, they tell us what their comfort level is. If they're comfortable working with a certain type of child, some people may be comfortable working with the babies, the 0 to 1 years old, because the CASA accepts kids 0 months to 17 years old. When they're 18, they typically age out of the system. So as soon as they're born, and if that child is going to be a foster care child, then we could accept them if the judge refers them to us. So we get referred through the judge or the Department of Children and Family Services, and then our volunteers who complete our background check, complete our trainings and our interview process, then they go on to tell us what type of child or who they're interested in working with.
Okay, well that's pretty good. When it comes to you, Miss Betty, just specifically, what type of services do you really bring to Acadiana? Besides just being a liaison.
Information.
Information.
Yes, just like when we first started the interview, a lot of people don't know what CASA is or who we are. So CASA, as I said, court-appointed special advocate, and once we're assigned by the judge or with DCSF, I bring the information to the community to let them know that we are here, what we do, and if they decide they want to become a volunteer, once again, I'll refer them to Mr. Chris.
Okay.
So that he can give them the information. They come in, they're trained, they're committed to CASA for 1 year to work with the child, to be the voice for a child. So it's mostly information that I get out into the community.
Okay, okay. As far as the child is concerned, I'm sure you must have had some type of little opposition sometimes as far as placing children with certain people. Do you get a lot of feedback from those children about, do they have a choice of who they want to be involved with?
Well, they certainly can let us know if they're comfortable or not. And it's not a big opposition because we still trying to revamp the program, get more volunteers in. The only opposition that I had from a kid was, why does my volunteer have to always see me during PE hours? So, you know, because the volunteers go into the school.
Yes.
But we took care of that situation. We asked the volunteer to go at a different time sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But it's no major opposition because I think the kids enjoy having that support of another adult who's on their side.
Yeah, yeah. When it comes to at what point during the process do you find out maybe that this child is a child of a veteran, or do you ever really find out?
We do meet with the parents.
Okay.
Like when there's a FTC, which stands for Family Teen Conference, if they choose to release that information at the time, they can, you know,
Okay.
they can let us know. But so far, I haven't had a parent to say, "Oh, I'm a veteran." Usually, you have to spark that relationship with the parents because sometimes they may think like, "Oh, they are part of the process of my child being taken away."
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we're not in it to take kids away. We're here to help reunify families if we possibly can.
Yeah.
So if they would expose that information to us, we certainly can refer them to some veteran services, which would be you. So yeah, we typically don't have that exposed, that information.
Well, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, this kind of ends this session with us, and I really appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you very much. I would like to take this time to thank the Louisiana Workforce Commission, Acadiana Works, and the AOC staff for giving us the opportunity to present this program to the Acadiana region. Thank you.